Time for the papers now. Emily is joining us here on set for the press review. She's starting off with the Hungarian press. How are the local papers covering Viktor Orban's loss this morning?
Well, obviously, it's all over the Hungarian papers, but let's start with Nepsava here. This is the front page of their website this morning. It talks about a brutal defeat of Orban's Fidesz party. The paper also explains that Peter Magyar asked Orban, quote, to not make any decisions now that may hinder the work of the next government. Let's have a look at the free newspaper Metropole here, still in Hungary. It quotes Orban on its front page here this morning. After 16 years in power, he conceded a defeat on Facebook last night while promising that he would, quote, never give up. The weekly newspaper HGV here has this photo on its front page of its website. It says that the task ahead is immense, rebuilding Hungarian democracy. Let's have a look at the tabloid Blick, which usually is quite supportive of Viktor Orban. This time, though, it headlines with, quote, love has triumphed, quoting young Hungarians celebrating on the chain bridge in Budapest last night. And finally, from Hungary, let's have a look at the opposition website 444. They have a similar tone here on its front page. It headlines simply with quotes, we have gone from the saddest country to the happiest.
Of course, not just a story in Hungary. There's a lot of coverage in the international press as well.
Yeah, and of course the European papers are particularly interested in the result. Let's start with Die Zeit here in Germany. It says that democracy is the true winner of the elections, and I quote, democracy is resilient. It can be stripped of its substance and humiliated, but destroying it isn't so easy, not even in Hungary. Politico, meanwhile, has this article here today. It argues that Orban just lost his populist touch. The paper says that the Hungarian Prime Minister miscalculated by attacking Ukraine and Europe. Instead, voters were more concerned with his cronyism and his economic mismanagement of the country. In Italy, La Repubblica also covering this, as you would expect. It describes the result as a slap to the right and also to Washington, and says that Orban's loss is a defeat both for Trump and for Putin. The Guardian, meanwhile, offers up a profile here of Peter Magyar, Hungary's next leader. The article goes over his, quotes, deep entanglements with Orban's Fidesz party, adding that there are, quotes, both exclamation marks and question marks surrounding the new Hungarian leader.
Another big story today, the Pope's visit to Algeria, of course, that's making the front pages as well. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, mostly in Algeria. Let's have a look first at El Mujahid here. This is its front page this morning. It's glad to see that all eyes are on Algeria for the Pope's official visit to the country, a historic trip which, quotes, is intensely symbolic, carries spirituality, diplomacy, and a message of universal peace. The front page of El Watan, staying in Algeria here, features this cartoon showing Pope Leo walking in the footsteps of St. Augustine, whose order he follows, of course. The Pope will be visiting the Basilica of St. Augustine in Annaba tomorrow. In France, it's made the front page of La Croix here this morning. It celebrates the first papal visit to Algeria, and it says the trip will encourage dialogue between the Christian and the Muslim world. After Algeria, of course, the Pope will be heading to Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea.
So good news from the weekend Emily's found for us in the papers. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, the congratulations are due to a great number of people. Let's start with this article here in The Guardian. Susan Coyle, or more specifically Lieutenant General Susan Coyle, is going to become the first woman to lead the Australian Army. She became the head of the Navy in 2022 and is set to step into her role in the summer, in July. Well, in the same vein, but maybe a slightly more sporty story, this is an article here in The Athletic. Union Berlin Football Club in Germany has made history by appointing Mary-Louise Etter as head coach. That makes her the first female to be given the top job of a men's team in one of Europe's 5 biggest leagues. She'll be in charge of Union Berlin. They're currently 11th in the Bundesliga. Now, Ita won the Champions League as a player. She won the German Championship 3 times. She retired at 26 to become a coach, and she's expected to become the head coach of the women's team in the summer. So congratulations to her as well. And more congratulations are due for the 57,400 464 finishers of the Paris Marathon and people who crossed the line yesterday in the streets of Paris, breaking a record in the process for the highest marathon participation ever.
Well done to all of them. And finally, Emily's found a story about a new kind of community. What's this about?
Yes, this is a very interesting article in The Guardian, and I think a good idea that we should probably replicate with other people. It's the Council of Andrews. It's a group dedicated to, quote, the Druish community, which is also on a quest to enact the, quote, Drew world order and to clear the Andrew name after all the bad press they've been getting recently with Andrew Tate, Andrew Mountbatten, and also Andy, the CEO from that Coldplay concert that we all saw. Now, this is basically just a community of people called Andrew. They hang out on the basis that they're called Andrew and have an annual festival of Andrews. They've also got their own flag, which I can show you here. A little fun take on the Star Trek logo, obviously. And it all started on Facebook. It's now grown into a community of over 7,000 Andrews or Drews or people who have a name related to the Andreas route. And they've even had their first engagement. I can show you a picture. This is Andrew and Andrea. They met at the Andrew Festival this year, and they've become engaged and set to married in the next year. So congratulations to them as well. Now, I've come up with what I think our community should be called. I think you should have the State of Stuart.
The State of Stuart.
And I should maybe have the Emily Emirates.
The Emily. That's very good. I'm trying to think of a famous Emily Blunt. That's the only one I can think
Bronte?
of. Bronte, of course. Yeah. It's better than Stuart. There's just a minion or a mouse.
They're quite good.
So that's it. Emily, thanks a lot. Emily Boyle with the papers on France 24. All the latest after the break. We're going to analyse that situation in Hungary for you. Do stay with us.